Okay, hello, it is me once again, reviewer in a bathrobe, Matthew, and this is my friend Levi, not Levi, Leanne, I'm sorry. But we're going to be talking about the movie Village, directed and written by M. Night Shyamalan. I don't know if I said his name correctly, but I thought it was an interesting film. I mean, I went into it. This was actually my first watch through all of it. Mm-hmm. Knowing the premise of it already, right. I mean, it wasn't scary. I don't think much of his movies are scary. I mean,
right, there are more twists. There's a
twist. There's always
a
twist. Yeah. There's always but what did you think about it?
Well, I think that I saw it when it first came out, which was 2004. So it's about 20 years old. And I
shocking to me.
Yeah, it is. I mostly saw it because my favorite actor is in it, Joaquin Phoenix. Mm-hmm. So I saw it probably right when it came out, and at that point I didn't know what the twist was. So I thought I was watching like a simple 19th century village, and I didn't know all the things that were going to happen. So
I didn't know. That's another thing. I was like, what period was this supposed to take place? Was it like you said 19 or was it 18?
Yeah, I think it was probably 1800s. Uh-huh. They didn't have electricity, right? They were using gas and or like kerosene lamps, candles. Everyone was in like clothes they had made. The houses were pretty simple. They were using fireplaces. So I assumed that that's what it was.
The one thing that sort of confused me about the century was the some of the villagers, like the young ones, they were wearing what I think they're called bowler hats.
Okay.
And I know bowler hats did not come around until into the 1900s.
Right.
So if that's why it looked like a mix of different.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's a detail that I didn't catch. So good catch on that. So yeah, I think there's interesting actors in it. Are there any actors that you particularly like?
I did have his name down, but I can't remember it. The father, the father who eventually, which later on I will talk about. He was very compelling to me. He's always in the films he is. Do you remember what his name is?
I don't, but I had it pulled up on my phone at one point, so let me see. Yeah, I liked actors.
All of the main cast, even some of the Sigourney Weaver.
Yes.
I was shocked to see her in this.
Right.
I was like, she is in this?
Yes. William Hurt, that's the actor.
William Hurt.
Yes, and Adrian Brody was in it, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Joaquin Phoenix, of course. And then eventually we get to see Night Shyamalan
at
in the guard shack.
Yes, he does his cameos. There was a young, I can't remember his name, and I can't remember, he's been in a lot of other, he plays in a lot of more comedy movies.
Okay.
I don't know if he was with the like the young kids, and then he showed up right when the father's daughter was returning.
Oh, okay.
And he said, she's back. And I'm like, is that who I think it is?
Yeah, and with it being so old, I mean, 20 years ago, there's probably lots of actors in there that we know more now.
Yeah.
That have kind of had success.
Yeah, he probably got a breakout role in this. I don't know, but basically, again, I don't know if you want to go into spoilers now, but we could. The village is basically about a group of settlers well, not settlers, but they're people who decide to live off the grid, but live like it was, like she said, most likely around in 1800s and 1900s, but I mean, we just actually got out of the 1900s a while. About what would you say, how long has it been since? Because I remember hearing this joke about a young girl saying, I found this reproduction of this record, well, not record player, but this player at a thrift store, and I know you put these things in it, and I know it's from the 1900s, and people were like, what?
Right, yeah. Well, I was born in the late 1900s, and I'm sure you were too.
Yeah. It's just odd when you say it like
right,
that.
Right, yeah. My kids do that. They say it like that to make me feel old.
But no, they chose to live back in that time period because I guess each of these people had a tragic event happen to them, and they thought, well, it would be better off if they lived in an isolated way in this a community. Because one thing I never thought about was until well, I did think about it, but I was like, how did they stop planes from going over this place?
I was wondering that too, and I've seen the movie so many different times that I think what had happened was the person who bought that woods and land made it a no-fly zone.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I think that's what it was too. I think not Joaquin Phoenix, but M. Night, the guard.
Yes.
He had mentioned something about that, like, oh, I've been getting some, I don't know, people have been talking to him about why are they making them
go around.
Yeah, go around that area.
Yeah, which is interesting. It's almost like it was a social experiment.
Yes, that's exactly what was one thing I had thought about too, because this is like, because they have made documentaries about what would it be like if modern people went back and, did this type of, lived in this time period, like, didn't turn out quite right. But was there any favorite scenes from the movie that you liked?
Yes, my favorite scene is when everyone is in their houses and the creatures are coming. Mm-hmm. And there's a scene where Bryce Dallas Howard, I forget her name in the movie, but she has
the one. Yeah, is it red or
the
blonde?
red hair?
She blonde?
Ivy. She plays Ivy.
Okay.
Yeah. She has her hand out and she's waiting for someone because she's blind.
Yes.
And she has her hand out, and Joaquin Phoenix's character saves her, from the creatures.
I was going to say that too. That's one of my favorite scenes too.
Yeah. You want to talk about the creatures a little bit?
Sure.
Yeah. So initially, we're kind of told that they have to stay in the village.
Yes.
To stay out of the woods.
There's a border.
Yes. And there's these things that live out there.
Yes.
That could harm them.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about that?
I thought, well, going into it, I knew the twist and I didn't know it was all fabricated, but also but I thought, well, this is interesting. And then these towers that they built, I'm like, and then the color is one thing I was like.
That is, I forgot about the color. Their color red.
The color red is like one of the colors that they can't talk about, and they can't
wear it or bring it in. Yeah. So, and the creatures must be drawn to that color. They say the creatures are drawn to that color. I think when you when you don't know what they look like, they're scarier.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you get to see them, they're really not that scary.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, they're basically what they made them out of is like a robe, and I don't know what they did to
Some sort of claw thing.
Yeah, it's probably wood.
Yeah.
And then a pig's, probably like someone taxidermied a pig's head.
Right. Yeah, and I guess that would be scary if you've never seen anything like that. Or
I mean, most of these, I'm guessing that the children of the original settlers are probably what? Do you think they're third or second generation?
I think probably second generation.
Second?
Yeah, because they didn't seem like there was a bunch of young children. There were some like 7, 8-year-olds. And then I think Ivy was probably in her late teens, early 20s.
Yeah. I'm gonna guess she was not. Do you think she was born there or born outside?
I don't know.
I don't know. Some of the children, I think, I don't know. But Ivy is the daughter of, what did you say his name was again?
In the movie, it's Edward. Let's see. Edward Walker. But the actor is William Hurt.
Uh-huh.
So, and Ivy is Ivy Walker, and I remember in the guard shack,
Mm-hmm.
the guard was talking about there were signs, I think, that said Walker
Mhm.
something, like Walker Preserves or something like that, or Reserve, Walker Reserve, or something like that. So he must have had a lot of money to be able to buy
Well,
all of
if
that.
you remember, he talked about his father.
Mhm.
His father that got, spoilers, his father that got murdered. Because they talk about the towns outside of their community. Now, they did let them know, okay, there are towns outside of these communities, but the people out there are just vicious, and they'll do anything. And he did. I think they did mention, his father, like he could turn a nickel or something into something else.
Yeah.
Into a dollar.
Made some money that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like a big, probably he was into, what do you call them, who do, what do you call those people who do, like they work for Wall Street?
Like investors?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder if he was an investor or
Maybe.
something. Sounds like he was. But he was pretty wealthy from what I understand, and that's probably where they got the money to do this.
Right, and so he probably connected with people that had the same
Mhm.
experiences and just tried to live off the grid, and the story they made up about the creatures was the
Mhm.
way they kept people inside the
Yeah.
village.
Keep their children's children, and
Right, right. And I think part of the, what is the word? The struggle that people have was you could probably have more medication, people wouldn't get sick and
Yeah.
die, or treatments if you lived out in the world, but they kind of decided to stay. And that's the reason why I had to go
yeah.
to the town.
Because there was a doctor there, and he basically, he was dealing with, like we said, centuries old type of I don't know if they even had some type, probably that he could make herbs or something. But he, that's why, Leanne said, Ivy went out into the, what they call the towns, to look for medication, and she had a piece of paper with her.
Mhm, with the names on it.
Yeah.
I think one of the really interesting things is that Ivy is blind,
Yeah.
and they sent her into the woods.
Mhm.
And she made her, I would get lost.
Oh, gosh.
I have my sight, and I would still get lost.
Oh, yeah.
And she made it to the edge and got over the wall, and then she took her paper with, I think it was antibiotics, because he had been
Yes.
stabbed.
Yes.
Right.
It was, I can't remember that guy who played the, he's mentally challenged.
Noah,
Noah.
and then his name's Adrian Brody.
Yes, Adrian Brody, that's what I was trying to think of. Adrian Brody, I was shocked to see him in this.
Yeah, there was a lot of big actors in
Yeah.
this, which was really interesting. So it appeared to be, the storyline was that Noah had a crush on Ivy.
Yes.
And she was, just a good person, and she was kind to him, and they played games together, and she knew him pretty well. And he ended up getting jealous, and he stabbed, is it Lucius Hunt?
Yeah.
So
which was interesting. Ivy's sister originally wanted Lucius to marry her. She that one day she just confesses her love for him.
Right. There's probably not a lot of options in that.
Yeah, I'm like, where? That's one thing I kept like, how are you guys gonna keep up a good genetic?
Yeah, they might have to bring some more people from the outside eventually. Otherwise, everyone's gonna be related.
Yeah, or there's gonna
Yeah, so her sister was interested in him, and then turned out he was interested in Ivy.
Yeah.
And they had that nice relationship, and then all of a sudden...
Well, he did say, well, again, they were speaking in this, I don't think, I wanted to say it's Old English, but it's not, but he was saying, how is it when you will let me, be the one who asks?
Yes, I like that part too, when they're sitting on the porch. I really like that part.
Yes, I like that.
And then when she says that she can see color.
And I was like, what do you mean by that? That's one thing that did catch me. I'm like, what do you exactly mean?
I think it's interesting. Some people have color to her, and some people don't.
Yeah.
I forget what his color, or she didn't, did she tell him?
She said, no, he never did, because when her father came in, and he said, Father, I can't see his color.
Yes, yeah.
Because maybe that meant he was dying.
Maybe, yeah, I guess maybe she was talking about an aura, or something that she could see with people. But yeah, so he was stabbed, and then I think that they wanted antibiotics. So then they sent her, and she had to traverse across the forest and potentially run into...
She had two guys
right,
didn't originally go with them, and she had to sort of say, oh, well, I got these magic rocks.
Right, that's going to keep the creatures away.
And then they're like, well, why haven't we heard of these rocks before? And they went a little bit of ways with her, but then they're like, well...
And then they let her go.
Yeah, like, forget this.
Yes, I forgot about the two boys. So they went home, and then she kept going. And she did eventually run into one of the creatures.
Yes.
And
it turned out to be...
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. It turned out to be, what was his?
Noah.
It turned into be Noah.
And she killed him.
Accidentally. She didn't mean to kill him.
She was trying to be defending herself, right? Yes, so
I don't even know if she knew it was him.
I don't think so.
Because there was a hole in the ground, and then somehow, I don't remember how it happened. Did they both fall into it? Because I remember her climbing out of a pit.
I think she fell in at first, and then eventually when she was fighting him, she pushed him in.
Oh.
I think. Yeah. I was going to try to watch it again. I've seen it so many times.
I only watched it one time all the way through. Usually I can remember a movie when...
Yeah, you have a really good memory for details.
Yeah.
So I guess the end of it is she fought the creature.
Yep.
She's still thinking they're creatures.
Yes.
Right?
No, she knows. She knows they're not creatures because her father showed her those costumes.
That's right, yes.
And said that he used a word like, it's all shell. Like, I don't know if that's an old word for false or...
Yeah, it's not real or something.
Yeah.
So she gets, and I'm sure she was, I guess they never really got into that, did they?
Not her, but that's okay, not her, but her father went into further detail about Jacob.
Yes.
And said, well, now, from his death, it'll make our stories more real.
Right, yes. Yeah, when Noah died.
Yes. and they'll bury him. I don't know where they're gonna bury him, but they said we'll find him and then we'll bury him, but through his death it'll make our stories more real.
Right. Yeah, so she gets across the forest, she goes and gets her antibiotics, and then she goes back.
Yep, and then I'm guessing that, I'm pretty sure that, what's the man?
Lucius.
Lucius, he gets better, and then
they probably let us use our imagination.
Yeah, so what happens next?
Yeah, so.
That's what happens, and this was a very good movie. It's I would say, it's not a thriller, it's not a horror really either.
Mystery, maybe?
Yeah, more of a mystery, I would say. It's
I don't think it got great reviews.
No.
I think it got 2 stars when I was checking it the other night.
Yeah,
but I still think that
I think it's good too.
It's a good movie, yeah.
I mean,
Interesting.
If you're looking on his, on like, it's I would say, if there's one of his movies to watch, this would be a good one to watch. Mine always go to one of his I like to watch is Lady in the Water. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I have seen that one, yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Signs is a good one.
Signs is good too.
Did he do the movie about where the plants are like attacking people? I forget what that's, The Happening.
The Happening, yeah. He did that. That was the most weirdest.
That was very strange.
It was weird, and I not very, what I would say, entertaining.
It was slow. But they had big names in that one too. Mark Wahlberg was in that.
Yeah, and then I can't remember who his wife was.
I forget. But
I think the woman who played Ivy was the one who played in Lady in the Water.
Yes, she did. It seems like Night Shyamalan
uses a lot of the same actors.
Yeah. But he seems to attract big names too.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, interesting.
It is. It's see what and his daughter, I don't know if you've known that his daughter wrote and directed a movie, I think it was this year.
No, I didn't know
called The Watchers.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
It's very good. It's very good. Another friend of mine, Mary, we went to the theater and saw it. She thought it would be too scary. It's not real, in my opinion, it's not real scary. It's more psychological.
That's a good way to describe his movies.
Yes, they're psychological. Just like with Stephen King. Now, Stephen King's books really get me psychologically, but the movies are totally different than what the books are because he's not involved with the books.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
This was fun.
Yep. And so we will cut it there, and let's just say, live it, like it.